It's time to take out your sun hat, your suntan lotion, and let's get the margaritas slash pina coladas going. You are here for two reasons. You fell for the hype you saw online, or you like fragrances shaped like a body, a naked body at that. Regardless, let's go ahead and take a look at Khadlaj Island. It's a coconut tropical scent that I recently got, and I'm going to give you my take on that and see what you think. So let's jump right in. So with the presentation, it is an extra concentration, so it is a higher concentration. It's a basic presentation, it's a basic box, nothing special with it. Some of the things that it does have, it does list the notes in the back here, so it does have those notes for you. And it'll list the top notes such as pineapple, ginger, and then the heart notes has the coconut, woody notes, and then for the base notes it has amber, ambergris, tonka beans, and sandalwood. Now, can you really smell all those notes? Nope. That's always debatable, but we will actually talk about it a little bit later and go over that. In terms of the bottle, it's a simple bottle, nothing too crazy. It's just a simple bottle, which is very common for their line. It does have a heavy cap there, and the atomizer is actually pressurized. So it is a pretty good atomizer. It's a good quality fragrance, I think overall. That was bad. Damn, I ate a lot of that fragrance there. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the notes here. So it does mention on the box, the pineapple. I don't smell the pineapple here. It could be very subjective because each nose is different. But to me, I don't really smell the pineapple. And I think I can smell it a little bit more on the dry down, but it's still not as prominent as I personally would like this to be. What you can smell right off the bat is you can smell the powder, you can smell the coconut, and you can smell the vanilla. So those are gonna be your three primary notes that you're gonna smell from this fragrance. And in the background, you get this little sharp amber that is pretty good, but it becomes a little more prominent as it continues to dry down. But to me, those are the four things that you're gonna smell. Think about it as a coconut lotion, a coconut vanilla lotion. It's very dominant in the coconut smell here, but it does become very pleasant for a lot of people. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you, personally, I'm not a big fan of strong vanilla coconut with powder fragrances. If you are a big fan of that, then you might really enjoy this. This keeps the DNA of the JPG line. There's of course powdery, vanilla, most of them, but they have different notes. This one adds the coconut and the tropical feel to it, which is good, and it's good, and I would recommend it again if you like those fragrances. Now, when it comes to performance, this is a fragrance that does have a high performance, and it should for the concentration. It is a high concentration, so I will always recommend with high concentrations and in general with fragrances that you are careful spraying too close. It could stain your clothes, so you want to be careful. This is clear, but it will leave a dark spot if you're wearing a lighter shirt. It doesn't require a lot of sprays to project. It projects really well. I would say it actually projects above average compared to some of the other fragrances. It gets cloying if you spray too much. If you're gonna wear it during summer, which you could, I do believe most fragrances, you can make them work for most seasons. But if you're gonna wear it for summer and spring, just keep it light. Keep it light and then just kind of test it and go from there 2-3 times. And this is coming from someone that loves to spray their fragrances. But this, I would keep it light. So projection is really good. In terms of longevity, it is really good too. I would say it's above average. And then when it comes to value, this is where I was very hesitant. And the reason I was hesitant is because it has been hyped, so the price is a little bit higher compared to other fragrances within that space. Another fragrance that comes to mind that smells very similar to the JPG Le Beau is the Glacier Bold by Maison Alhambra. It actually even comes in a similar container, and they have no shame because it looks very similar. So if I had to compare this one to Glacier Bold by Maison Alhambra, I would actually say they're pretty close. This one kind of tends to have maybe a slight better quality when it comes to the different notes, but they smell very close. And I actually personally like the structure of the notes of the Glacier Bold because I feel like the fruity notes is more prominent in the Glacier Bold. And I kind of like that because then the sweet vanilla and powdery is not as cloying as it is with this one. So if I had to choose between the two, I would get the one that's better price. But if they were both priced the same and performance wasn't a big deal, I would probably choose the Glacier Bold if I'm gonna be honest with you. Again, my personal preference, I know there's a lot of hype behind this one and it's a good fragrance, but I definitely would not overpay for it. So in terms of value for money, I think it's pretty good in the grand scheme of things, but within its space, there's other fragrances that are just as good that won't break the bank. For example, the Glacier Bold by Maison Alhambra. So I would just get the one that's a better price. Both are really, really good. To wrap it up here, I do think it's a good value. I think it's a good performing fragrance and that's good. And if you like those fragrances, it might be a good option for you. And if you have any questions or any thoughts on this fragrance in particular, leave some comments and let me know if you are a big fan. And if you smell Glacier Bold, do you prefer Glacier Bold? So that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk soon.